do not know how long it's been since your ship was destroyed. You guzzled down liters upon liters of salty water until you eventually passed out, unable to fight the current. You were buried underneath the deadly cold, dark sea. Eventually, however, it seems that luck was on your side, as you have managed to survive. All of you start to very gingerly open your eyes, exhausted, barfing up water. You are absolutely drenched and cold. You barely have any clothes on you. The first roll was to see if you could salvage any of your equipment, but alas, none of you rolled well enough. So, apart from some basic torn up clothes on yourselves, you have no items, no weapons, no armors, nothing. Your entire inventory is down the drain and somewhere at the bottom of the sea, with its cold and probably very powerful currents. You have absolutely nothing. Congratulations.
I will refrain from commenting on how little sense that makes.
Crawling out of the filthy water and sand, around you all you see is a hurricane. There is a huge storm. The weather, the rain is pelting you mercilessly. You see lightning coming down from time to time. You see no sources of light, only darkness, cold, and the rain and the thunder, as you are on a secluded island in the middle of, well, nowhere. Sadly, the picture is very nice and friendly because I thought it was gonna be that type of session, but no dice. So imagine it much more gloomier and uninviting.
I'm gonna use Shape Earth to protect us from the weather.
How?
My pendant.
Nope, you have no
It's
items.
gone.
Oh, so I guess I'm dead because my noble
guess
moon
what,
pendant
Lucretia?
is gone.
You can cast, but
I mean,
without,
don't we die if we lose our
without
pendants?
without your symbols, that's
No.
heresy.
No, we have our noble moon pendants, but they're not holy symbols to cast from.
Right, I think there
I
was
feel like you've
survival
done
in
this
this
just
fucking
to
game. Let
spite
me
me.
open the DM screen real quick.
Survival is certainly a skill, yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
it is
let's
very
do
much a
that.
skill.
Right,
And
so
I
roll me
am
survival, Adam,
entirely
and
useless.
considering the weather is absolutely terrible right now, and the conditions
you.
are horrible, you will have to roll at a disadvantage.
No, fuck that! Look at that!
You see, the thing is, Experta, you kept saying
I
that
need a
without
spear!
realizing he rolled double crits.
I need a
Adam,
spear!
why must you ruin everything?
It's like I must have a spear. The one
Adam.
cannot leave my hands.
Adam, why can you not stop being Adam for a while?
Suddenly he has a survival version that's almost exactly like his old spear. It's like much better.
Okay. So just to confirm something.
The winds are actually picking up. If you are just standing there in the rain, chances are you might get blown over. Like, they're getting ridiculous.
Well, as fun as this is, we should head in and see if we can get some shelter.
Yes, let's go. She says she starts making her way.
Experiment.
Yes.
Do I in any direction see any sort of hill or mountain?
Up in the distance, you see some. Well, you basically see what's in the picture. In the distance, you see some larger terrain that can be quote unquote called a mountain of a sorts. But to reach it, you see miles and miles of endless jungle in your way.
Where are we currently, like, vaguely?
You are at the beach.
I'm just wondering where one might conceivably find a cave.
By the looks of it, you don't see anything like that anywhere around you. The forest, the jungle is very thick.
No, that's why I'm asking where, like, the nearest sort of cliffside is.
Roll me perception.
Will do.
Again, at a disadvantage.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Let's roll it second
That
time.
was a 19, second round. It's a 19! Once again, of you!
I feel like this is some sort of karma. There's no way it can't be. That's all that's been rolled so far is 19s and 20s.
In rows.
In pairs.
What do you
Well,
but I
okay
see?
then.
Now here's the thing, Sibby. Just because you know where it is, that doesn't mean that, oh, magically it's right next to you.
No, of course it
So
isn't.
guess what? While you are managing to take a better look at the terrain and get a good idea of what it is, until you reach the nearest cliffside where possibly there might be some caves, it's a good half an hour walk through the jungle. And guess what? A straight line through a jungle, yeah, that's not happening, sadly.
True.
So that means it's gonna actually take you even more time in this god-awful weather, which is probably gonna drain you of your strength.
Well, I mean, it could take me less time, but then like everyone else, we just not catch up.
Or to take up the back.
Anybody that wishes to guide the others through the forest, make me a survival check. You're gonna have a rough time. There we go. Let's just say that. It takes you about an hour, but finally, at least you're out of the rain. You managed to find a small cave where you can huddle in there. Sadly, the area around you is quite understandably all wet, so starting a fire seems almost impossible. What are you guys going to do?
Alyssia just looks around to like Lucretia and Horatius. So, about sharing that bodily heat?
I just shrug and put myself on the side facing the cave entrance.
Or you put yourself on the side? Oh,
As
yeah,
in,
lie down.
I imagine it's like a stack of like, you know, like 4 L's, just that. So one side has to be nearest to the cave entrance, one side's nearest to the back, right?
Oh, fair enough. Okay, in that case, Alyssia spoons you from behind.
Lucretia awkwardly tries to cuddle up to both Alyssia and Iris. Not really into this idea, but it's survival.
Makes you two the meat and us the bread.
Right. It's been a long and hard night, but eventually, during the middle of the night, the skies begin to clear up a little bit. You've had a very rough night. You're cold, you're exhausted from the rain. You all suffer a level of exhaustion. You definitely did not have a good night, that's for sure, despite your best efforts to make yourself, shall we say, comfy.
I don't know, I had a great night.
When we get back,
And just as if the storm had never happened, now the weather is perfect. The sun begins to shine and the jungle begins to warm up a little bit. Actually, it's starting to get a bit humid because of all the rain and now all the sunlight, but don't worry about it.
Now that the weather is okay, you basically just find Lucretia's like, alright, that's enough, and just shoves Alyssia and Horatius apart.
Alyssia looks at Lucretia somewhat bewildered. I don't understand your aversion for bodily contact.
What was that actually?
She was hissing at her.
Also, if you're worried about me seducing your brother, you should know that he has already rejected me once.
Twice. Your arm during the night.
Well, if I was coming on to you, I would have put my arm somewhere else.
Yeah. Twice.
Really? I did that in my sleep?
Might be a reflex for you.
I suppose.
I go over and nudge Iris with a boot.
Lucretia is red as a tomato and not amused, and immediately storms out of the alcove, which is like 4 steps deep, so it's not much of a storm out.
2 strides, and then you're out. Right, first things first, we need to get some food. Out where we are. You ever hunted before?
No, not really. So, do you need someone to be the bait or someone to drive the game toward you?
Or hoping you could point out something. Guys, maybe be able to find you.
I'm sorry, Adam, what? What do you want me to point out?
You see real good.
You see good. You look for. you look them.
Would you taste the eyes?
Unfortunately, Adam, since my survival skill is shit, I'm not actually good at tracking things.
But you do have excellent. Which is why Horatius wants to bring you.
Right, so Alyssia and Horatius are gonna do some game hunting. What about you, Lucretia and Iris? What do you guys wish to do?
Iris will go scouting.
Okay.
She wants
What about you, Lucretia?
I'm gonna gather materials and start basically expanding the alcove with sticks and like making a makeshift shelter at the alcove.
Gotcha. Let's see. Right. For Iris, I want you to do me either perception or insight. For Horatius and Alyssia, since Alyssia is gonna be looking for the prey, make me a perception check. For Lucy, I want survival. See, right, Iris, you are making your way through the forest. You actually decide to climb a few rocks, which is absolutely easy for you, considering, well, your background. This is just a walk in the park. It's like you're back in the Shirokawa garden. It's all fun and games.
Just back in the wild, just jumping
It's
up mountains.
actually surviving out here is much easier because Rohana's not chasing after you mad that you didn't clean the house.
Exactly. There's not a
But
wild
for some
Rohana
reason,
here.
you keep not stumbling upon pre-cooked food. Like, that's usually happens in the wild.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. What the hell Ken's doing?
It's like, that's weird. Normally snacks appear when I'm out in the wild.
Meanwhile, Kenshiro is like, Kenshiro is like in a fucking like rowboat somewhere,
Where are all
just
the
reeing.
snack plants? Where are all the popcorn plants? Why isn't there any food?
Weird.
Where are all the rivers made out of milk and chocolate cookies?
Hey, Exploder.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
wait, that was a
that's more of
dream.
an Anri thing.
Hey, Exploder. We're
More of an
here
angry
reeing
thing.
from a rowboat in the distance.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how it goes.
Just ree!
So what do my normal human eyes see?
Sadly, all around you, you see is jungle, 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 and a few clearings. You see a small river with a waterfall, basically this. You see the mountains, and there's nothing on them. For all intents and purposes, this place is absolutely deserted and void of civilization.
Really? It's just forest.
Yeah,
Curses.
seems bad, man. For you can't tell what's on the other side of the mountains, so maybe there's still some hope. Who knows?
How long did it
The
take me
way
to
it
get
goes,
there?
however, you cannot just make a. You can't just stay on the beach and walk the long way around. If you're gonna make it to the other side, you're gonna have to start climbing.
That'll be tough for the others.
It will. It will be tough for you because, like we said, there's not gonna be any snacks along the way that are
Oh,
waiting for
no.
you somehow.
Yeah, that kills my motivation, but I have to. How far away is it? I suspect this
As for
isn't a
you-
small island, is it?
It's not a small island.
Yeah.
There's a few miles of jungle between you and reaching the cliffsides
Yeah, I can't
over
run
there.
that fast. Sadly, I can't flash it.
And like I said, it is a jungle, so it's gonna be a bit of a trek. It's not a straight line. Right. As for you, Alyssia, you managed to find some small prey. Because I'm not an expert in this kind of stuff, let's just say, oh my god, it's some kind of wild rabbit. There we go.
Seems plausible
As
enough.
for survival and Lucretia, it's gonna take you a while because you're not used to this type of job, but you managed to get a few sturdy sticks and whatnot. You start reinforcing the cove.
Yeah, usually I just pray to my goddess and she makes a giant stone house. Alas, I cannot
mean-
cast miracles now.
Looks like you're gonna get a whole new appreciation for your miracles.
I guess since rabbits live in holes, I guess like our tactic is I scare the rabbit out of the hole and Horatius spears it.
Basically.
Seems like a good plan. Let's see, what can you roll me for that? Animal handling would be a funny thing to make you roll.
Guess what? I've got it trained.
Of
Do
course
it.
you do. You fucking
Also, I
horse
just-
pussy.
I just had the funny idea Horatius blade
Right,
walling to get a bunch of rabbits and
Horatius, you
stabbing
see,
Alyssia
after
before she did
Alyssia
it.
doing some work, you see the rabbit pop out of the hole. Make an attack. The rabbit is very squishy, your spear goes straight through it, and it's going nowhere.
But still, unless Horatius beats me to it, Alyssa's going to break the rabbit's neck.
Oh, no, I was
With
also
absolutely
typing
no remorse.
You can do it if you want.
You see a small little tear appear on the rabbit's eye as its neck gets broken. All it wanted was to cuddle and be nice, but no, you had to murder it, you savages.
Pray to the goddess
I
for
only
this hunt.
I only cuddle humans.
Oh, I just want to ask, did I see any animals on my way there?
Oh yeah, you definitely saw a few.
Oh.
From what you saw, there are some very innocent small animals that seem like they'd make a nice game. You didn't manage to see any bigger ones or any predators or anything.
Do I see any birds?
Yeah, there are actually some
Are they
birds,
colourful
and some of
birds?
them are very colorful and beautiful.
Alright, I'm
Are
gonna
there any
command one to come
Galapagos
down.
turtles?
I'm gonna command one to come down on my shoulder right now. And I don't have to roll for that, I
Okay.
just command it. It's like down.
Oh! One of the birds starts eyeing you weirdly and jumping back and forth, seeing how you react to it. Eventually, it gains enough courage to slowly fly and land on your shoulder and starts whistling and playing a very beautiful song. It seems like the bird wants to impress you.
I pet it and I'm gonna try searching for a few berries to give it on my way back.
I'm gonna pet it and casually break its neck.
All I
No,
can
no,
hear
you're
in
nowhere
my
there,
head is
fuck off.
that I stab its neck.
It's neck. Why do you want the colorful bird anyway?
I
Are
am
you
a
playing
pirate
Pokemon
now.
Oh.
The bird is very happy because you quickly realize that it's pointing out some stuff you were missing, and you manage to find some small berries and fruit. It happily gobbles up a few of them. You actually managed to eat a few as well. Since the bird is eating them with such glee, you decided to take a chance. They're actually rather sweet and nice. They
Oh.
fill your mouth with juice. It's nice.
I'm gonna keep one so I can show it to the others to make sure they know what to pick.
By the way, Horatius, Alyssia pokes you in the side.
What? You find something?
Not exactly, but you realize that we're lacking two very, well, specific tools needed to make a stew, right? First of all, we don't have a pot. And second, we don't have a knife with which to, you know, flay and dismember the rabbit.
Well, that shouldn't be too hard. Around you, we can find something for a knife.
That should be too hard, Horatius said, as he critted on survival again and just magically found a stone knife.
But no, I actually found this cook set behind a rock. Did you guys not?
See,
No, I'm not making you roll actually. I'm scared of what's gonna happen.
if we
I choose to succeed to make stew.
Oh god, how? He doesn't have the tools.
Hey, Amanda. I'm
chooses
actually
to
saving
succeed.
it for that specific reason.
Of course you are.
I choose to succeed to
No,
use
no.
Horatius's chest as
gets to make no rolls this
symbol.
game because I'm scared of letting him roll.
Actually,
Hey, Sperta, you know what? You've stripped me of all of my symbols so I can't cast miracles, but you haven't stripped me of one.
To
Come
be
on,
fair,
take
if you
it.
want to cast, you can. It's just heresy.
No, you see, the thing is, I can cast without it being heresy. Because there's
Oh?
one symbol left that I can cast with.
Your brother used him as a symbol.
Yeah. You can't tell me that's not holy. He's been
I mean,
by
I don't
literal
know.
God.
That's kind of on the nose, Lucretia. Let's be real here.
now,
I don't give a
don't grab something that you have to handle with. Try his back first.
No, it's on his chest. I'm gonna touch his chest.
I don't
Yes,
know.
you're
It's
going
still
to
a little
touch
on
his
the nose.
chest.
The gods are frowning a bit.
But there's a reason I told her we won't be using that unless it's a last resort.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean-
not. That's why I didn't use it last night. Hey, Alyssia
Hey.
tried to.
We should
Hey,
try to say,
Hey!
I've got a holy symbol down here for you, big boy.
hey.
and you
No,
didn't
stop
even,
it. You guys are lewd. Stop that.
Oh.
and Lucretia didn't even push up against Alicia's back. So
was
Well,
sad.
maybe she
Too- I
doesn't
was
have anything to
too-
push back with.
What, you woke up wetter than
concerned
when you
with,
went to bed.
No, I was
Or maybe
too
she-
concerned with Iris's sprawling. I was
Or
basically
wait.
just hugging Iris the entire
May-
time,
by
trying
the
to get
way,
her to stay the fuck
As
still.
you introduce Jeremy to Lucretia, suddenly you feel absolutely hammered because the bird that's on Iris's shoulder is one that looks, well, suspiciously close to a bird that you are very familiar with. It's a very colorful bird that has a very nice rainbow-like, well,
Yeah, I kind
tail.
of assumed it would look like Shaylin's bird.
Yeah, well, that's one hell of a bird right there. It's pretty cute.
It's.
Can I see your bird for a second?
Jeremy.
Can I use your bird to cast magic?
It's like Jeremy.
Yes. Jeremy.
Here, have some berries. You can feed it to him.
They're like,
Okay.
Gods become angry
I
whether
guess
Typhoon
I
comes
feed
back.
Jeremy as he just kind of perches on my hand. I don't.
Oh, by the way, sorry to interrupt you. Horatius, while you're looking for some kind of stuff that you can make tools out of, throw me perception.
Sure.
Don't
Am I allowed to
fucking
use my
please.
surrogate eyes? for
Can
this,
I-
or will I make
can
one
I-
myself?
Aid him?
You can roll separately if you want, Alyssia.
Yeah, she's
I thought it
my,
was
my surrogate eyes.
I thought I
Come on,
would
Alicia.
like add advantage or something. Wait, we're all suffering from one level of exhaustion, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah, so permanent
The
disadvantage.
exposure I can't
Nice.
roll below a 90. It's impossible.
Unfortunately,
Right.
you both roll 14.
Yeah,
So
but
while they are searching, what are you
horrible.
doing, Lucretia?
I don't know if I want to. I guess I roll religion on the bird.
Go ahead.
All right. I'm going to roll religion on a bird. This is one of the dumbest things I've ever done, but okay.
can I use this as a symbol of Shaylin?
What the fuck?
No, you
It's a
cannot.
nice bird.
Nice
It's a
birdie.
pretty nice bird.
I don't
Jeremy.
even recognize it as being for Shayla.
You don't. No. You don't even recognize it as being a bird.
This is,
I don't
well, it's
see
not a bird.
anything.
This is Jeremy.
It's
Jeremy.
Superman.
I don't know if I want to use that because I'm just like, oh, food, and then I.
No. Years ago, don't hurt Jeremy. Or I warn
After
you.
lapping up the berries, the bird flaps its wings in a very content manner and returns back to Iris' side and nuzzles against her neck.
I allow it
And
to.
then begins singing.
Yeah, I allow
There's
it to nuzzle
something
into my
about
fluffy
that
hair.
thing on your shoulder, but I'm not sure what.
Jeremy.
All you've said since you got back is Jeremy.
Well, you have me called by its name.
Jeremy. The thing on your shoulder. There's something weird about it.
Lucretia, it's a bird.
I knew that.
Do Ovarians not have birds?
Are you
I knew
sure you
that.
know that?
Yeah, shut up. Help me make shelter.
Fine. Jeremy, you can go up in the tree.
Jeremy looks at you left and right and then flies up to a nearby tree so he can watch over you and continue singing.
If he gets 60 feet away from me or an hour expires, basically my command wears off. But I am hoping to make him like me until then. So yeah, I'm gonna
Okay,
help.
what-
a bit.
And
Some
all you
people.
see as Jeremy was happily singing, suddenly an owl swoops by and eats him. Oh no,
No!
I shouldn't have attracted it.
Whoops.
I guess we're now turning this into Pokemon.
I wasn't even in long grass.
Another campaign.
Another campaign.
So
What's
what
the
do I have to-
Pokemon?
It seems that Horatius and Alicia's search has brought has bore fruit. Well, not literally for your disappointment, but quite figuratively.
I mean, I
Anyway.
assume we mean like a sharp piece of flint and I don't know.
Like, just anything you could use. Oh,
I have no idea what the fuck you would use for a bowl. Like it's not made out of metal.
As you continue searching, Horatius, you find some very interesting things. Why don't you roll me insight real quick?
I have a +0. Oh, +1, I believe it is.
Wow.
My rolls are really
Are you even
delayed.
human?
Right. You stumble into what seems to be a very, well, easy to, shall we say, shape rock. As in, this seems to be a perfect candidate for making improvised pot out of. Next to it, there seems to be a small, smooth-like stone that seems to be perfect to be used as flint. And
Well.
there seems to be a few more rocks scattered around that are a bit more sharp and edgy that would probably make good tools for, well, working the rest of the rocks out.
Well, I'm not one to look a gift horse in the mouth. I'll say a quick prayer to Yomandai for guiding my hands. Clearly this is a sign, as I'll point Alyssia towards them. They turn
Alyssia.
and see, look and the gods will provide.
And she just like gives Horatius an eye of like, yeah, right, and then he just goes over to pick the stuff up.
I mean, to be fair, Alyssia, you stumbled upon a lot of useful things that were literally just there in one spot, so it does look a little on the nose.
Or you're just cynical
Yeah,
enough to
but
work out
see-
the odds of this happening.
Here's the thing, Alyssia there's no doubt in her mind that you know, like it's too convenient. But she does not believe the gods are the ones that made this too convenient. There's probably something else in the works.
Nah, it's okay.
That's
The gods
fair.
shape
That's
the
a fair
world.
assumption.
Everything in it is their work. Give me that pop. Boy.
Although she's fairly certain that 13 isn't stupid enough to get to this island. No, not 13, 17. God
17.
damn it. 13 is me.
I mean, to be
13
fair,
is
I mean,
exactly
he is
stupid enough to
human,
get
there's
to
no
this
way for
island.
him to predict this is gonna happen.
Yeah, no. 13
True.
is exactly dumb enough to be here right now. You can tell because she is.
You gonna take that, Alyssia?
Actually, since Horatius doesn't know that my quote-unquote real name is 13, no, I'm just gonna leave it alone. It's fine.
Okay, that's fair.
Horatius gathers up all the pots and pans and... Oh, what's this? Ratione. What's that word? A lot of ratione packs.
Right.
Is that
Since
an
Iris
L98?
came, since Iris came back to help Lucretia, in an hour or so you managed to reinforce your temporary shelter. It seems like if another storm comes, you'll have an easier time, well, getting through the night.
Perfect.
It's already about noon, by the way. Time seems to be flowing by rather quickly. Everything takes forever to do. Who knew?
I miss swords. It's okay, I can chop the logs in half with my hands.
I miss civilization. There's no humans to kill here.
I was gonna say that Iris is probably most well suited for survival, but considering just Horatius decided, fuck it, I'll make myself a spear instantly, I don't know anymore.
No, that's
I
just
mean-
his. Like, he can't live without a spear in his hands. It just appears.
Okay, but here's the real question. Like, is there anyone here who actually has survival trained?
No, I'm just going on stuff a trained warrior should know.
To be fair, if anybody is fit for survival, it's probably Alyssia, because thanks to Gordon, you've probably lived all over the place.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't actually have survival trained.
I have 4 in survival.
I mean,
Not-
yes,
it's
I
not
lived all over the place
proficient.
with Gordon.
So none of us have survival trained. Most of us are just going on what would be reasonable for our character to know.
Yeah, that's fair, that's fair.
Pretty much. I mean, does Alyssia know like vaguely how to cook and probably like how you should cook things in a like dire situation where you need to make the most of everything you have? Sure. That means
Probably,
Alyssia knows
yeah.
how to hunt? No.
Yeah, that's fair. Right, so, since midday is coming around the corner and you guys have returned with some game, sadly all you have is meat right now, but what are you guys going to be doing?
Wait, did Horatius say that he found something that was vaguely knife-like?
I
Some
showed you
sharp
to where,
rocks
like,
that can be used as tools, or as a weapon if you're desperate.
Yes. Well, I mean, first of all, Alyssia will open up the carcass, or carcasses, from, you know, stern to stem and just remove the intestines and everything else in there, because you can't cook that shit.
Iris gets close and goes, "Do you want me to
Actually,
I've got this.
cook?"
Thinking
You
about it
sure?
all day.
oh yeah, no, actually, one thing. She does keep the liver and the heart, because those things are actually edible, even though the liver tastes like crap, but the heart is actually good meat.
By the way, Iris, it seems that your little friend Jeremy is making quite the ruckus.
I'm gonna look up and go, "What is it?"
He starts flying in circles and slowly starts flying towards one end of the forest.
I'm gonna look confused. Can I insight to see what he may mean? Like if he wants me to follow him? or
He
something?
seems to wanna be followed because after flying for a while, he just starts going in circles.
I'm gonna check that out. You guys okay with cooking? You're not gonna burn
I'll
down the
come
cave?
with you.
Oh, okay, you can come with me. You two can cook, right? We're not gonna come back with our shelter burned down.
I look up at you with like a disappointed face. I've
Oh.
cooked for you before.
I can cook.
Go.
You're a spoiled rich boy, she says as she starts walking away.
Oh god! Oh
Ooh.
god!
The
Horatius, you're being
pot
called out
calling
right
the
now.
kettle black. You're a spoiled rich boy,
That's
says
not
the
even the pot
spoiled
calling
rich
the
girl.
kettle black. That's the pot calling any random other unrelated object black.
It's a fucking dragon!
More like an ancient wyvern.